Welcome to Growth Mode Podcast for Real Estate Agents, hosted by the Floyd Wickman Team. You know, you can either do it alone or bathe your mind with the inspiration of others. During this podcast, you'll listen to successful agents in our coaching community from across North America share what motivates them and what they've learned. All right, so welcome to this episode of the Growth Mode Podcast. I'm your host today, Mary Palin, and I am so excited about the message that we are bringing you today. If you know anything about our R-Squared coaching program, you know we have teams of 8 people, and we've been doing that for 16 years. Today, we're going to talk about Team A, and that was the very first founding team. And in fact, some of the members of Team A have been here for 16 years, like every week, 1 hour, 16 years.
I'm shocked.
That's amazing. And so I just thought I would share a couple of stats. We're in week 18 as I'm recording this, and we've got 8 people that did 2,948 conversations. That's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
They've been on 202 listing appointments and they've taken 119 listings. That's a very good close ratio. They are averaging with their listings and sales and sold listings a 1.80 per person per week. So this is a powerhouse team. And I get to introduce you to one of those powerhouse people, and that's John Fesh. John's been there since the very beginning. His marketplace is Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. I kind of think of him as Toledo, but really he's got a larger area than that.
Yeah.
And John, thank you so much for volunteering to do this.
16 years.
I know, you were 12 when we started.
Yeah, and when I got my license when I was 12 too.
Yeah. So it worked out good, you know. So we're going to just talk a little bit about what goes on Team A and maybe some of the things that have come up over the last few weeks. But why don't you start with something that happened today?
Sure.
Did you ask the experts that you brought to the call today?
Yes, and I tried to pass it off. Believe it or not, I tried to pass it off. I wanted to see if there was something else pressing on the team. And one of the team members said, "Bull. Ask the question. Let's go." And I'm like, all right, fine,
okay.
I'm in. And I appreciate that they did because I got great response. So
all right.
My Ask the Experts was actually for one of my team members. I've got a plethora, brand new agents, middle and top producers. And this is a middle solid producing agent who is struggling because she's got her sphere family have referred her to this person who's selling his house. His wife are selling the home, and it's huge. It's about 4,500 square feet, and they've had it on the market for 6 months prior to her being introduced to them to come out and talk.
Okay.
And it was never sold. $650,000, and our price point's about double, maybe triple what our average is.
Okay.
This seller is sold on his Taj Mahal. He is sold on the fact that it's worth even more than the 650, even though the market did not give it to him. And she's nervous because she doesn't want to disappoint them, but she doesn't want to disappoint her family who referred her. And I asked the experts today. I said, if you were my new or middle of the road agent, if you had one piece of advice, how would you handle this if you were her? And I got a range of responses. One of them from a longtime wiki, she said, quite frankly, I'd take it, but I'd take it if I had a post-dated price reduction ready to go that says after 10 days, 5 days, however many days, that price is going to come down.
Okay.
And another wiki that came right out and said, nothing's worse than a listing there's nothing worse than no listing than one that never sells.
Yeah.
She said, I run from it. Don't do it. Don't take this. Don't even. And it was amazing to get such different communications. But in the end, what it came down to was whatever you do, she's not going to give them a price today. She's going to do a presentation first, right? And I said, well, absolutely. But she already knows that he wants 800 instead of 650. So she's very concerned about that and made it clear to her. I said, we're not talking price today. We're going to walk in that door. We're going to make sure they understand your value and what you bring to the table. Because in the end, you definitely don't want to let them down, but not because of them, because of you. Personally, you don't want to let them down. So she turned around and I loved it. She walked in that door. She held her poise. She never winced, but she made it clear to him that we're running the numbers. We're going to come back to speak with you. We understand what you want, but the market right now has dictated it's not even giving you your 650. So she's hinted to him, and I love her for it, that she made it clear, I'd rather turn you down now than let you down later. And she doesn't
Oh, thank
know.
you, Floyd. Spoken like Floyd Wickman.
Doesn't even know it yet. I haven't even got to that stage to teach her, but she came up with it herself. I was very proud of her. And the majority of the team made it clear, hey, when you go in that door, stick to your guns, because that house will come back on the market 6 months from now if they continue down this road, and they'll probably come back to her for being honest, or they'll get it priced right now, and then she'll get it sold. So it was great to have the team there, because even though they conflicted with each other, it was nice to hear everyone's angles. So
yeah, and that's, I think, one of the powers of R squared is that we don't all say exactly the same thing. There can be advice that is completely diametrically opposed. And whatever you choose, there isn't really a right or a wrong. You listen to the plethora of ideas, and then you choose the one that you think is the right path.
And that you feel you can actually adhere
Pull
by.
off.
Because if you can't pull it off, you're lying, and you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, boy.
Worse than no listing is a listing that expires. I love that. That's great.
Right.
So
Yep.
she
I want
going
to
back?
yell out names, but I want to keep it quiet. So.
No, right?
Yeah.
She's going back to do.
Yeah, she's going back on the 19th, because there is an estate sale and the house is destroyed. And of course, the seller thinks it's going to be even worth more once everything's out of the house.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love it. Got another story for us?
Yes.
All right.
We had another Ask the Experts that felt like it turned into a little bit more of a psychological, psychiatric, a little trauma.
Oh, a therapy session.
A therapy session.
We are the cheapest gall darn therapists in the universe, aren't we?
Without it. And probably a little more honest and a little more direct with our words. So what happened on that day, we had a light turnout that oftentimes makes you wonder, should we just cancel and just wait until next week? And thank God we didn't. Her question revolved around the fact that she was struggling because she went on 3 listing appointments. Now get this, she's struggling because she went on 3 listing appointments. That doesn't make sense to me. That's not struggling. That's outstanding. But she knew in her gut, something told her that they're just wasting my time. They're not that interested, I don't think. There's something about me going out there. They're just trying to get information and they're using me. That was she better off just to start telling people, no, I'm not even coming out. And he quickly responded, never miss an opportunity. Never miss an opportunity to put yourself in front of somebody who's thinking of buying or selling.
Wow. Hey, listeners, write that baby down. That's some great advice.
Never turn. And then turn that attitude around. That attitude has to be, I'm going over to see if I want it. And if I want it, I'm going to take it. Versus, I'm just going to go over there. I'm sure they're just going to waste my time. I'm just spinning my wheels. And that stinking thinking can lead to that as well. So he pulled her back and used an old Floydism from days gone by, where he received a phone call from Floyd, received a phone call from one of the students that just was, he could hear him. He was at his wit's end, just struggling, knowing I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. It's not coming together. I'm trying this technique, that technique. And Floyd just says, hey, I'm about to hang up the phone. But before I do, here's what you're going to do. When I hang up, you're going to turn around and you're going to pick up 5 listings this week. You're going to call me, or it might have been in a month. I forget the story exactly, but you're going to call me. And I was like, what?
Go get 5 listings.
Yep. And then call me, because then we'll have a whole new set of problems, a whole new set of concerns, a whole new set of stuff. And that's exactly what one of our agents shared with her. He's like, take a step back. You got in front of 3 people. Most people can't get in front of 3 people in a year. Yet alone, not in the National Association of Realtors, they're not doing anything. You got in front of 3. Let's build on that. So then I asked her, I said, I love her. She does so much. I'm embarrassed. I mean, she's hiking mountains and living life. But she also does a lot of things that helps her business, but it can get convoluted. It can get a little bit like minutia. And I asked her, I said, before you do
Busyness?
with a Y, busyness with a
Okay.
Y.
Okay.
I looked at her, I said, can you remove some of this and start focusing on your smart week with green on your 5/90/10s. And if your podcasts and all these other things have to take a hold, a time out, then do it. Get busy with the people that you know, love, and trust, and make sure they understand you're there to help. You're there to lend a hand. You're there to answer questions. They're getting their information from all these different media sources, and who knows what's right. I mean, Real just bought Remax. So what? What's that got to do with us? Get out of that lane and get back to basics.
Conversations, the most basic, right?
That's it. And you know what? And Sheldon made it clear 2 years ago. Forget this about appointments. Let's just get together. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be so, everything pen to paper and we're going to, iron this all out? Slow down. Let's get together. And then you can open up and find out what's making them tick. And is the time right? Do they even want to enter this market now? Or do they want to enter it in a year? Once we do our hot buttons, we can help them with all of this.
Yeah.
So she listened to it and got back on the horn the next week. And because we felt like we kind of beat up on her. It was such a smaller group. She had no. And so, but she turned around and she just said, thank you very much, because you got to take that smart week serious. You got to look at that, find your green, make sure that you got balance. And if you're doing everything yellow because you're preparing for podcasts and you're preparing for Zoom calls and all this stuff, man, we got to get back to the phone and connecting with our sphere. So we think we really helped her. And then she came back and it was beautiful. She gave us feedback. And that's another great thing about R Squared, is when you hear about how did that turn out? Sometimes
you gave me advice. Here's what happened. How many times have you done the program, John? You did the program for a while.
You know what? I did a couple programs without Floyd knowing, in like 92, 93, when I was breaking in. Well, I was in the business since 1987, but I broke in.
So you were 17.
17, that's right. That's right. And so I was actually helping a broker start his business, and he was doing sweat hogs. And so I was learning a lot about sweat hogs before I said, that's enough. I'm going to do this full time. Went into sweat hogs in 1995 under Ed. Ed was my trainer.
Well, there's someone else on your team that I think has done it now 15 times, right?
If it's not 15, it's 17. So you might be short. Yeah. We've got a woman who's been trained and coached individually by Floyd. By Floyd. I love her, and she's a powerhouse.
Yeah, she's a hitter.
Yes. If she never took another program, she would do from Smart Week to 5/90/10, runs her own office, and family member runs the other office. She's running an office that's brick and mortar, not this Zoom and one broker in the state of whatever state you're in. She's the broker and she is actively working with her agents, yet she still does her own personal business.
And a lot of it.
She just took the program live with you
I
this
know.
year.
I
This
thought
year.
that, yeah, that's who I was talking about.
Mary, for all of you, I'm talking to you, not Mary. Her numbers, she's already a killer agent. Her numbers spike every time she takes this program. Every time. And I'm going to piggyback. I didn't share this with you before the call, but one of our other team members on Team A um, admits and commits to this, that she herself has taken the program about 10 times and she always finds something new that's not. No,
You hear different
there's
things based on where you are in your business.
exactly where
Hmm.
you're at in your life, in your circumstance,
Yeah.
and what presents itself. And suddenly you come back and you're open to a whole new set of phrases that have always been there, but you didn't hear them. And
Yeah.
so I've got two agents on our team that have been in this business for eons and yet still take it and still apply it and know that their numbers spike every time they take the class.
Has she said anything about the 590-10s? And does everybody that's listening know what a 590-10 is? 90 minutes of prospecting with a partner. 5 minutes before you start, you say,
Right,
you get on the horn and you say, okay, we're going to do this.
right.
You
The 90
dial for
minutes.
90, and then you connect and report number of dials, number of conversations, and number of appointments, what your results are.
Exactly. And what's beautiful, there's so many things that's beautiful about it. Just even before the 5 minutes, you've got to know. You've got to take pen to paper. You got to know who you got to give yourself some time to think about who is it I'm connecting with and why.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing
Make your
else,
list.
yeah, it gives you an opportunity to go back into your CRM or your 1 in 31 and look and see, my gosh, they probably have two more kids now. And those kids that they have are probably 10 years old now, and and then you start to realize our job is to get into their world, their life, and
Yeah.
not for any other reason, but to make sure we're there to help if any life circumstances change. So
When they're ready and when they hear of someone thinking of moving, they don't give you that referral as a favor to you. They give it to you because they know that you can do a good job for their people, you know?
exactly, that they're in good hands. I hate to use the Allstate. Sorry, Allstate. I know you.
I don't think you have to pay them or anything if you say
They should pay us.
yeah, they
They should
should.
pay us. But that they understand. And to that point, I know there's been times personally with my sphere of influence, specifically my family. There's times they don't want to give me a referral because they're so worried that the person that they're going to hand me over to or is such a mess. They don't want it to mess my world up. And I'm like,
Oh,
hold it, slow down. Let me decide. Let me
yeah,
talk with them, and then I
yeah,
can kindly walk away. But if I can help them, that's what they truly need. Don't let that get in the way. So sometimes we have to remind our sphere, don't worry if you think they're a handful or a mess.
right.
Let me step in and
We're in
maybe
the
I can help
business of
you.
solving people's problems,
Right.
and they run
Right.
the gamut, and that's for
Exactly.
sure.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, that's pretty cool.